Hello, Hornets, and welcome back to the February 12th edition of SHS Today. To start our show, Landon Richards and Rowan Bonham bring us a new episode of SRO Minute. Next, Ev Below and Lauren Hudson are back with Nerd News. And lastly, a long-awaited update on construction with Rory Zeller. All of this and more on SHS Today.
What's up, Hornets? Welcome back to this lovely episode of SHS Today. I'm William Wilson.
And I'm Katelyn Gray. From pop culture news to well-needed school updates, we've got some exciting content for you today. So let's get this show on the road.
Starting off, Saline High School will be participating in the annual Polar Plunge on February 19th during Hornet Time.
As always, the Polar Plunge will be donating money for the Special Olympics, and so far we have raised just over $13,000.
If you're hoping to support student plungers, scan the QR code or visit the Polar Plunge website. From there, you can find the Washtenaw County link to donate.
Speaking of school community, it's important that students feel safe in their learning environment. This could include understanding school protocols, like closing exterior doors behind you and knowing expectations. With
this in mind, Officer Holman will join us on another episode of SRO Minute to remind us of school safety procedures.
Good morning, Saline High School. Today I'd like to take the opportunity to speak with all of you about the importance of building security and how it relates to keeping our school staff, students, and visitors safe. As all of you should be aware, Saline High School is considered a closed campus, meaning that once students arrive in the morning, they should remain within the building unless permission is granted by a staff member to leave. Aside from being a violation of school rules, a safety concern exists as well. There are times when the exterior doors may not shut all the way after someone walks through them, which leaves the opportunity for unauthorized persons to gain access to our building. What does that mean for us? The answer is simple. We can all consider ourselves stewards of our own environment by taking the extra time to ensure that exterior doors are properly closed behind us as we walk through them. Furthermore, these doors should never be propped open and left unattended in any circumstance. It may seem like a very simple idea, but it is often the simple solutions that can have the biggest impact on keeping our friends, teachers, and support staff safe while we enjoy all that Saline High School has to offer. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of you for allowing me to speak about such an important topic. If you have questions regarding building safety and security, please feel free to stop by my office in room S208 or send me an email at homanb@salineschools.org. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Hornets.
If you have more questions about school safety, email Officer Holman at holmanb@salineschools.org or visit his office at S208.
While on the topic of awareness, the 109 Cultural Exchange will be hosting an acrylic painting class with experienced artist Curtis Wallace during the times on screen. Not only will he teach attendees a few painting techniques, but this lesson will also highlight Black artistry and culture. It's a great way to brush up on your artistic skills and celebrate Black History Month with your peers. So, if you're interested, scan the QR code to register on the website, but be quick as spots are limited.
You know, talk about art events reminds me of the new Wolf Among Us game. Did you know the art designers will be reusing their original art style from the comics and the game itself?
I didn't know that. Well, Ev Below and Lauren Hudson will inform us more about it in this segment of Nerd News.
I'm lonely. How did I? Welcome, fellow nerds, to the first Nerd News of 2025. I'm Ev Below.
And I'm Lauren Hudson. How did you?
Now that we are all here, let's choose our next adventure.
Wait!
From the creators of Until Dawn, Directive 8020 is the next Choose Your Own Adventure in the Dark Picture series, releasing soon. In space, death takes many forms, especially when our 5 crewmates are trying to survive against one shape-shifting imposter. If you haven't played the other Dark Pictures games, that's okay. None of the games connect to each other narratively.
Did you just make an Among Us joke?
Read.
Do we have any Last of Us fans in the house? No one?
Well, I'm very excited to announce that The Last of Us Season 2 will be able to stream on HBO Max in April. Now, unfortunately, we do not have an official release date yet, but we will be having 2 new characters joining the cast. Haley Dever, who will be playing Abby, and Isabel Merce as Dina. Ev, you heard of Telltale's Walking Dead, right?
I have. They're the creators of Minecraft Story Mode.
Well, Telltale also made a game called The Wolf Among Us, a prequel game dating back 20 years before the comic series Fables. And in the game, you'll be playing as Big B, the big bad wolf detective in Fabletown, Manhattan.
The Wolf Among Us has also made a sequel that will supposedly release this year in 2025, expanding more on this underrated story. And who knows, they might be among us already.
Why?
Because you can't stop me. Thanks for choosing our adventure through this segment of Nerd News. I'm Ev Belote.
And I'm Lauren Hudson.
Back to you in the studio.
Well known for her role in Home Alone, Katelyn Gray also joins the cast for Season 2 of The Last of Us.
For those of you looking forward to the series' return, there will be some time to catch up on the first season, as we have a long weekend coming up.
Like Katelyn said, a long weekend is just around the corner. This Friday will be a half day, meaning that classes will proceed as followed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once students report to their 4th hours, the student body will be reporting to a PEP assembly. Also, in honor of President's Day, Saline will not have school on Monday, February 17th. Enjoy your long weekend, Hornets.
Speaking of school events, many are aware of the STEAM Center construction going on here at the high school.
This process began during the 23-24 school season. With that in mind, Rory Zeller is back to update us on the building progress.
Dozens of clubs and classes are about to receive a major overhaul in 2025. 3 months ago, the STEAM Center and weight room didn't even have roofs. Now, they have the enclosed interior with the framework for plumbing, ventilation, and empty classrooms.
Out of everything that's coming with these new buildings, what's like the most exciting thing that's really new for Saline?
The most exciting thing that's new for Saline, I think, will be the dedicated space for robotics. Their existing spaces right now are classrooms and corridors. On the weight room side, a lot of our students were using their time before school or after school to work out.
So one of the questions we asked ourselves is, what did we not currently have available? We talked about the need for a big open space that wasn't maybe as large as the commons, and that was more private / available throughout the day, in order for both teachers and students to be able to look at it and think about, like, how could we use this space and in what ways, and get creative with it.
STEAM classes are a relatively young concept in the U.S., only gaining recognition in 2012. So it is thrilling to see Saline innovate with an area devoted to field testing and storage for Robotics and Science Olympiad.
On the STEAM side, developing that space, we just felt like engineering is such a big piece of today's students because those teams are growing.
We've already heard a little bit about, for example, Mr. Brown is going to be teaching a new class next year related to drones and unmanned vehicles. The weight room will also be opening, and we think that that space is going to really elevate the weight room experience and the strength and conditioning.
The weight room will have brand new equipment that students can access easily throughout the day, connected directly to the auxiliary gym on the 1st floor, allowing student athletes to push themselves to a professional level.
I would definitely like to say a huge thank you to all of the stakeholders who invested in the process at the very beginning. Amount of folks who have contributed ideas and feedback to the project. We really appreciate the fact that we have the support of our community in order to help making Saline area schools continue to grow and achieve great things.
With this new addition to the school, the STEAM Center will promote mixed use across many departments, clubs, and classes, such as the upcoming Drone and ROV Technologies class, to advance learning opportunities at Saline.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. We hope you enjoyed the show. I'm William Wilson.
And I'm Katelyn Gray. Be sure to follow @SalineVideo on Instagram and YouTube for show updates and behind-the-scenes content.
Tune in next week for a lesson on simple college meals, an equity snapshot featuring Dr. Kerr, and awareness on eating disorders.
Have a great week, Hornets!